Please subscribe, like, and share. It really helps us out. And of course, if you have any questions, comment below, and we will answer you as soon as we can. Welcome to this video in our series on A-level economics. Topics covered today are as follows. The tragedy of the commons. If you haven't seen our previous videos, click on the card above.
The tragedy of the commons is a situation where there is the overconsumption of a particular product or service because rational individual decisions lead to an outcome that is damaging to the overall social welfare. The tragedy of the commons theory assumes that when making decisions, people take the course of action that maximizes their own utility. However, if many people seek to do this, the net effect may be to deplete a resource, making everyone worse off in the long run. The tragedy of the commons was first mentioned by the Victorian economist William Forster Lloyd in 1833. He used a hypothetical area of common grazing land, in which villagers all took their cows to this common grazing land, but this led to overgrazing and a loss of the resource. In theory, individuals could limit their use so that they don't deplete the common resource. However, there is a free rider problem, where people rely on others to cut back their production. If everyone free rides and maximizes their use, then we get a situation of overconsumption.
Let's look at an example. Overfishing and tragedy of the commons. Individual fishermen have an incentive to catch as many fish as possible. However, if many fishermen have this same motive, then it can lead to fish stocks being depleted as fish are caught at a faster rate than they are replenished. Unchecked, this can lead to a collapse in fish stocks due to overfishing. If one individual fisherman holds back on his catch to try and preserve overall fish stocks, it may prove futile because many other fishermen continue to catch as much as possible. The net result is that fishermen don't have any incentive to hold back, so they might as well try and catch as much as possible.
How can these be solved? Firstly, voluntary agreements to avoid the tragedy of the commons. Eleanor Claire Lynn Ostrom, an American economist, investigated local communities who did work together to successfully manage common resources. She used the term common pool resource management to describe how local individuals could come together to make informal arrangements to manage and use the pool of resources. Her examples of local initiatives led to the use of the term, sometimes known as Ostrom's Law. Resource arrangement that works in practice can work in theory. However, this cooperation is more difficult for an international resource like fishing in the North Sea. In this case, the multinational level fishing makes it more difficult to reach an agreement. For example, we may have a plot of land which could tolerate 20 animals grazing per year. This level is sustainable from year to year. However, if the land is open, there may be 40 villagers each bringing their own cow to graze the land. This leads the village green to be overgrazed, meaning the village loses this common land. If there was regulation or a common agreement to limit grazing to 20 cows, then the net welfare would be much greater for the village as it would last from year to year.
What are some policies to overcome tragedy of the commons? 1. Voluntary agreements along the lines of Eleanor Ostrom, with informal arrangements and local monitoring. A strong sense of civic responsibility can make these arrangements more successful. 2. Government regulation. Government regulation can limit fish catches or the size of fish nets to allow young fish to escape. 3. Clearly defined property rights. If common land is given over to private ownership, the private owner has a stronger incentive to manage the resource for optimum outcome. However, the problem of property rights is that it can lead to equity issues because private owners gain monopoly power over tenants. Also, if the owner pursues short-run profit maximization, he may make the same mistakes. Let's look at this in action with fishing policies. The EU has a fishing policy to try and regulate fish stocks in heavily fished areas. However, it is often controversial because agreeing and implementing quotas can be a source of friction. For example, in fishing, the international community may set a specific fishing quota, which is split up amongst different fishing industries. If these quotas are kept, then fishing stocks should be preserved. Thank you for watching our video. Please like, subscribe and share. And comment below so we can clarify things for you.